Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you are tuning in with us right now, we are excited to have a good show for you guys tonight. You guys know how we get down. You already know what we're going to do. We want to give some time for those who are just getting in to get in. So we're going to begin in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So until then, enjoy the vibes. For those of you all who are here, please go ahead and share this on your Facebook, on your Twitter. We are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube. So please go ahead and share this information, especially to your neighbors, especially to anyone in Lyons Township. This is a very specific event. So we want to make sure those who are in this area, this township, they have access to this information, right? So go ahead, guys. Let's make it happen. This is a very specific. All right, we got 23 viewers so far in under 2 minutes. That's great. Can we get to 30? Can we get to 30, guys? Can we make it happen? Roseanne, how you doing, Roseanne? I see we got Kelvin watching. Kelvin, how you doing? We're at 26 viewers. All right. Can we get this to 30? Can we get to 30? Lyons Township? Can we get to 30? Hope everybody's okay over there. All right. We're at 31 viewers. Are you guys ready to begin?
Do this.
Joyce, how you doing? Kelvin, how you doing? Karen, how you doing? All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We want to welcome Carrie from Township, from Lyons Township. Everybody, give Carrie a round of applause. And I would love to introduce one of my favorite coworkers. It's a pleasure to work with her every day. It's fun, it's exciting, and she draws like I do. Let's give it up for Nicole, guys. Round of applause, round of applause. She is our director of communications. She kind of makes everything make sense. I don't know how else to put it for you guys, but without her, we'd fail. So, you guys ready for tonight? Let's do this. All right. So if you're here, I'm assuming it is because you're a part of Lyons Township. I'm going to assume that you're here because you want information that we have specific for your township. So what I would like to do is just jump right in. Carrie, on behalf of Lyons Township, is there anything you want to say before we jump in, or?
Not too much. We're just looking for you to teach our residents about online appeals. We are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 3:30, closed for lunch from 12 to 1. But we encourage our residents to call first.
Awesome. I have a special request. One of my favorite township assessors, Barb, I'm assuming she's going to be with us tonight. She's going to be live in the comment section answering questions as well.
She is.
Awesome. Awesome. The rest of our team is going to be here as well. So please give a round of applause to Teresa, to Priscilla, to Michelle, to Moore, to Kelvin, to Angelina, to Nicole, to everybody, the whole team. This is not a one-man band show. Teamwork makes the dream work. So what I want to do is I want to share my presentation with you guys, and I just want to go through it. Can we do that? Is that cool? Is that cool? Give me 1 second, please. Share screen. Application window. Share. All right, guys. So we are the Cook County Assessor's Office. What I want to do is I want to go over the appeal process with you all. I'm watching. So if you see me moving back and forth, it is because I am watching my presentation, and I'm also watching the timer that I have here on my right, your left. So let's begin. If you look here on the screen, you'll see that we have two different documents, right? The first one is white and gray. The second one is yellow and probably makes you very angry every time you open it, right? The first one, that's called a reassessment notice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a bill. This is not a bill. This is not a bill. The reassessment notice will typically have a picture of your home on the top right-hand corner. Unless you're a condo, then it's done a little differently. Nevertheless, the information is the same. The reassessment notice has information on your property. It has the PIN number, the township, construction type, neighborhood code. How you doing, Michelle? Thanks for joining us. On here as well, you have the value of your home. You have the previous value and you have the current value. Now, on the right of that, you have what's called a tax bill. The Cook County Treasurer's Office sends one of these out twice a year. In February, it's blue. It does not have any exemptions on it. In July, it's yellow and should have your exemptions on it. A little information you guys might find useful. This year, so the bill that you just got typically is due August 1st, August 2nd, August 3rd, depending on when it was mailed out. This year, because of COVID-19, the Treasurer's Office has extended the deadline from August all the way to October. That means you have until October to pay this tax bill without worrying about late fees, without having to worry about delinquencies, any charges, any interest, any of that. You have until October to pay this bill. Now, I want to give a shout out to Nicole. She created this awesome graphic. Properties in Cook County are assessed every 3 years. Now, give me a second. I live in Worth Township. My township is located on the south portion of the county. We are being reassessed again this year. The city portion will be reassessed next year, and the northern portion of the county will be reassessed in 2022. Every 3 years, your property gets reassessed. That's one of the main questions we receive in our emails is, hey guys, when is my property going to be reassessed again? It's super simple. If you are in the south, 2020. If you're in the city, 2021. Or if you're in the north, it's 2022. Assessor Kagi's goal is that property assessments are fair, accurate, and transparent. Our goal is that we get the property value correct the very first time. That is the goal. That is our aim. That is what we want to shoot for. Realistically, there might be a chance here or there where we don't hit it on the first try. If you feel that our value is incorrect, that is why you're here today. You are able to appeal, and we're going to walk you through that today. So first, I'm going to go over the appeal process. You receive your reassessment notice. That's the gray and white document with the picture of your home on the top right-hand corner that we talked about earlier. Second, if you disagree with your assessed value, with the estimated fair market value of your property, you can file an appeal. You must have a reason why you want to appeal. One of the most common reasons is that there's an error in property characteristics, or that there is an error in the uniformity of the property, or there was a fire, or there was some kind of situation that happened that you say, hey, there's no way my home is worth this much. After you appeal, our analysts review the evidence, and then they determine whether there's going to be a change in your assessed value or not, and if there is, how much. Fun fact, because we are in 2020, we pay our taxes 1 year behind, right? So because we are in 2020, what will happen is if you appeal in 2020 and you receive a reduction, you will see that reduction next July, because we don't pay 2020's taxes until 2021. An analyst will then make a decision whether they're going to decrease your value, or you're going to receive a no change. If you get a decision letter, it might say, congratulations, due to your appeal, we're going to lower your value by such and such amount. Or it'll say, sorry, due to the uniformity of the neighborhood, we are going to keep your value the same. You can appeal multiple different ways. The preferred way to appeal, the easiest way to appeal, I should say, is online. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this screen up for a couple seconds. I'm going to let you guys screenshot it, take a picture of it, write it down, whatever you want. But to appeal online, I'm also going to walk you through this. I'm going to let you see this. You would go to cookcountyassessor.com/online-or-appeals with an S. Once you go there, an online portal will guide your filing. You can start a draft, you can save it, you can edit it, you can submit it, all from the comfort of your cell phone, your iPad, your tablet, your laptop, or your desktop, all from home. You will be able to submit additional documentation, supporting documentation, pictures, appraisals, anything you think is important. You will be able to submit that information as well. Please note that in 2020, taxpayers now have 35 days to appeal. And guys, real quickly, while we're doing this presentation, I know that a lot of you all may have questions. This may be the first time you've ever had an event like this with me. I promise we will do a Q&A. I promise that is my most favorite part of the night. So if you have a question, go ahead and write it down now. And then when we get to the Q&A, we'll be able to answer it. That way you're not rushing when it's time to do Q&A to write down your question. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk you guys through how to file an appeal. And I'm going to do it live here with you. Give me a second. Pull up Google. All right. We're going to go to cookcountyassessor.com. We're going to hover over appeals. We're going to click appeals. And then we're going to go down to online appeals. And we're going to click it. From there, if you guys want to take a second, I'm very visual, so I can read something a million times, it's not going to stick. But if I watch it, I can do this. You can watch this video we have here. It'll walk you through everything. Here's some of the information you're going to need. You will need an email address. You are going to need documentation if that's the reason why you're appealing. But then what's going to happen is you're going to get here, you're going to click, and then you're going to put in your email address. And you're going to put in your password. If you don't have this done, you can create it. Barb and I actually did this together on her cell phone a couple months ago. So it's very easy. It's not that hard at all. I believe that we can do it. So now, after you have registered and you've put in your email and your password, this is what you're going to see. I'm going to walk you through each screen. Some screens have more than one thing on them, but I'm just going to walk you through it. Again, you can watch this back also if I'm talking too fast or you missed something. This is going to be on our Facebook and our YouTube, so you'll be able to rewind or fast forward however you want. All right, so when you're ready to appeal, you want to enter in your email address and your password, and then you're going to get to this verify parcel portion. We just need your information. We need your PIN number, we need your address, and we need the property class of your property. Super simple. Then from here, we just want to make sure that the PIN number is correct, and if you are filing a certificate of error, while you're appealing, this is where you would make sure you check these options. A certificate of error while you're appealing is something different. This means there's a factual error. It does not mean I don't agree with the value. It means, hey, you guys are assessing me incorrectly. You're saying I have a building with 6 apartments or less, but all I own is a ranch-style home. Or, hey, guys, there was a fire, and you've been assessing me as a property and I don't have a property anymore. If there's a factual error, the square footage is wrong. The square footage is wrong. This is where you would do it. Now, on this portion where it says additional pins, this is where you would add additional pins, right? You might be saying, well, hey, I only have one pin number. Well, some properties are prorated. That means they have more than one pin number. Maybe they have a side lot or they have a really big house sitting on 2 lots, whatever the case is, this is where you would add additional pins. Now, the filer. You are the filer, right? So you would click this little down arrow and you would make sure to choose the taxpayer owner, right? You are the filer. And then you would do the exact same thing on the next bottom tab. You would make sure you click on taxpayer owner, and you just put in your information, your name, your address, your city, your state, your zip code, your phone number, and your email address. That way we have a record. You have a record. There's a paper trail. There's accountability on both ends. And this is what the assessor has been preaching since the first day he came into office. Ethics, fairness, and transparency. This is the best way for us to make sure we hold our end of the bargain and you hold up your end as well. Now, the next portion is property characteristics. Long story short, this is almost always right, but sometimes it's wrong, right? Sometimes you might have a 2-story instead of a 1-story, or you might have 2 bathrooms instead of 1.5. I would just look over this page. Only you can do this, unfortunately, because I don't know what your home looks like. But go ahead and go through these different little options and just make sure this is correct. If it's incorrect, this is where you would correct it. Now comes the fun part. We need to put in the year. Well, this will automatically be filled in for you, actually. So where it says current tax year, 2020 will already be there. If it's not there, just go ahead and put 2020, put in your property class, and then this is where the meat and potatoes of your appeal is located. We need to know why you are appealing. There are multiple different reasons, right? Lack of uniformity. How come my house is built like everyone else's in my neighborhood, but my value is a lot greater than theirs? Overvaluation. There's no way my house is worth this much. If my house was worth this much, go ahead and take the keys. Go ahead and buy it. I'll sell it to you right now, right? Vacancy. This means you have an empty property. Fire damage is self-explanatory. I hope no one here has fire damage. I hope nobody's planning on having fire damage. Please don't do that. It's not worth it, guys. Property description error. That just means there's a physical error, right? Or the square footage is incorrect. Building is uninhabitable. That means you physically cannot live there. It does not mean my husband still lives here. It does not mean my wallpaper is ugly or my closet is too small. No, this means you physically cannot live here. The next one is building no longer exists. It's self-explanatory. And then other's a little different. If you check other, that means there was an act of God, right? There was, some sort of flood, some sort of, lightning struck a tree by your house and the tree fell on your home. Or on the news, actually, there was a news article, watching the news the other day, and a drunk driver lost control and took out someone's whole first floor. So that's where you would put this at. Now, this next portion is a little different. So I want to go over this in detail for you guys. See this portion down here where it says field check requested? This means you actually want someone from our field department to go to your home, redraw, and remeasure the property. If that is the case, you would click this little arrow, the drop-down box, and make sure you write yes, or click yes, sorry. Then in the field check explanation, you just let us know why you want us to come. It's super simple. You don't need to make an appointment with us. We're not going to go inside your home. There's no reason for any of that. All of our field department people do have IDs issued by the county. So if you see someone suspicious around your house, just say, can I see your ID? If they don't have a county ID and they don't have an iPad, they don't have anything, they don't look like they're drawing anything, they're not from our office. Now, this is probably the question we get the most. How do I upload my additional documentation? So it's super simple, guys. You would go to the heading that best represents or it's appropriate for you guys. Sorry, my dog's going nuts, guys. But if you have an appeal narrative, you would just select files and upload. If you had an appraisal, you would click select and upload. If you have pictures, you can scroll down on this screen. Actually, I just didn't do it. But you can upload pictures. You can upload closing doc. You can upload anything. But there is a size limit to the upload, so you might have to take little separate pictures and just upload them all like that.
Hector, actually, can I pop in about that last slide?
We're almost at the end. We're at the submit section of your appeal. From this area, you can choose to save your draft. You can choose to print your draft. But we are going to need you to fill out this information. So we do need your name. We do need your phone number. We do need your email address. But please read the red writing, right? The fine print says, please be advised that once you click submit, you will be able to make change. I mean, you will not be able to make changes or add additional documents to this filing. Once you click submit, you see down here, this will pop up. Are you sure you want to submit this filing? Guys, if you click yes, you are filing your appeal. So just make sure you have everything in order, all your ducks in a row. That way you don't have to do this over. The second most common question we get is, hey, when am I going to receive my confirmation letter? Will you receive a confirmation email? Absolutely. When will you receive that? In a few days, right? Especially during COVID, we're working remotely. We're trying to do everything we do from our office remotely. So, guys, take a picture of this page. Take a screenshot of this page. It says confirmation on it. This has your filing ID. It tells you, please print off a copy of this filing for your receipts. So this is what you want to save. Once you get here, you know your appeal is done. Now, lastly, because I know we're at 22 minutes already, I do want to cover the different exemptions that we have. For the first time in assessor history, the homeowner and the senior citizen exemption are auto renews. That means once you apply for them, they will continue to renew for you. The senior citizen will be up to 4 years. We have the senior freeze program, the persons with disabilities exemption, veterans with disabilities exemption, returning veterans, longtime homeowners, and the home improvement. These are all different exemptions / discounts for you as homeowners. So please take advantage of every single one that you qualify for. Lastly, I want to leave this up on our screen so you guys can take a picture or take a screenshot. This is our information. Our office is currently open downtown, 118 North Clark, 3rd floor. You will have to make an appointment if you want to visit us downtown. You can find that information on our homepage at the Cook County Assessor's website, which is right here, cookcountyassessor.com. Markham Courthouse, the branch of the assessor's office in Markham, is also open, but you do have to make an appointment there as well. Please, please, please follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and follow us on Instagram. We got to get these numbers up so we can beat the algorithm in all of these platforms so that the information that's important that we want you to receive is received in a timely fashion. So now let me get rid of my screen sharing and let me get back into my favorite part. Now, all right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. So now we're going to bring in, I'm going to tag my coworker Nicole in.
Hello, hello.
I thought that would work better, but it didn't. It didn't. Not. Wait, do it again. Do it again.
There we go.
Yes. Nicole, once you get unmuted, we're gonna bring you in so you can go over some of the numbers and the technical things that you excel in.
Oh, can you not hear me?
No, I cannot hear you.
Give me 1 second.
While we do that, guys, please feel free to write your questions in the comment section, because as soon as Nicole is done with her portion, we are going to do a Q&A. It is my favorite part. So please hang tight. We are having a small little hiccup, just a little thing. All right. Okay, I hear you now, Nicole. I hear you now.
Let's try this. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, thank God. All right, cool.
I think I messed it up. I messed it up when I tried to be cool, and I don't know what I did.
We can't handle you, man. And I just wanted to quickly point out with your screen, when you were showing people how to give how to upload attachments to their files, so their appraisals and their other documents. That is also a section where if you have comparable properties, so you're saying, hey, these are properties comparable to mine, that's where they go in the attachment section. So
awesome. Thank you.
Right.
That's why I need you in my life, Nicole. See?
All right, so I get to talk about my favorite thing, which is information about that number on your assessment notice. And actually, Hector or Carrie, feel free to jump in kind of whenever you want. I'm going to try to do this in 2 minutes. Here we go. All right, Lyons, we just posted our reports about reassessments in your township. So if you are a homeowner in Lyons, I'm going to show you, spend the next 3 minutes talking about data about our reassessment of your home value. So I'm just here on the homepage, cookcountyassessor.com. And you can actually go straight to your Lyons reassessment reports. Up here in this yellow banner, we have Lyons right up there on the top right. I'm not sure you see it on my screen, but you just click reports.
We can see it.
All right, and then here we are. And on this page is where you're going to find information for you. I want to quickly show you our interactive map. One common thing is, you might not exactly know, okay, am I in Lyons Township? Where am I? We have an interactive map. So if you don't know exactly what your township or your neighborhood is, you can find it right here. We also have these really detailed reports. So what I'm going to show is a couple of slides from our residential report. So you click that by opening here. I'm actually going to share my screen right here. So there's two numbers that went into producing the number that went on your reassessment notice. The first one, actually, sorry, I'm going to stop sharing real quick. Okay, so there's two numbers that go into that number on your reassessment notice. First is an estimate of your home's value as of January 1st, 2020. So think about it this way. If you were going to list your home for sale and then it sold on January 1st, 2020, what would it have sold for? You'd probably do that by finding homes that are comparable to yours, right? And then saying, okay, this one sold for this much, but it's a little, maybe it's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller from my home, right? And you find a bunch of homes like yours, and then you take the average of those to estimate your home's value. That's exactly what our office's job is. So our office uses a whole lot of data is a COVID-19 adjustment. So I'm going to show you two quick things that you can find in that report that tell you about how we got to that number using sales data and how you can find your COVID-19 adjustment. First number, we look at trends in Lyons home sales, so in and around your neighborhood. So here's actually some real estate data about home sales in Lyons Township. On the left, we like to show people, what the number of properties that sold are. So what we see in Lyons Township, about 4-ish% of properties on every given year are selling. And that's, that's remained nice and steady over time, kind of a nice steady market. Here are the sale prices of those homes that sold. So again, of those 4% of homes in Lyons that have sold, their median sale value is about $300,000. Now, of course, not every home is going to sell for that much. So what we've got here is about 50% of all of those home sales have sold in between these two dashed lines. So between, about 180 and 520 or so. So that's that first number. We gather all that data about sales and we say, okay, given all of these sales that have happened in your area lately, what would your home value be now? The second number is a COVID-19 adjustment. I'm going to skip forward to that. All right, so typically in most years, January 1st is like the rest of the year. That hasn't been true in 2020, right? And one of the things we know about home values is that when unemployment rises, home values tend to fall. So our office used data about unemployment in each neighborhood to create a COVID adjustment for that neighborhood. So what we'll see here is neighborhoods that had higher estimated unemployment also had larger COVID adjustments to property values. So that's the second number. If you have your reassessment notice with you and you know your neighborhood code, you can actually pull up this report and go to these slides, look for these slides that look like these. You can find your neighborhood code, find information about recent sales in your neighborhood, and then find your exact COVID adjustment. So there's a whole bunch of data that we have available for you, and we hope it helps you make decisions about how you want to appeal. And that's it.
All right, good. Cool, man. Thank you so much for your time, Nicole. Thank you for your expertise. Thanks for making all the stuff nobody wants to look at or want to know about enjoyable to look at, enjoyable to listen to. I see that we're running a little bit behind, but that's totally cool with us. This is what we do. We're built for this. Team assessor. So now, my favorite part, the Q&As. So yeah, just go ahead. We're gonna start answering questions right now. Ms. Boland, where do you get comps? That is a layered question. So, well, it has different answers, I mean. So one, you go to our website, cookcountyassessor.com, click on the, as a matter of fact, give me 1 second. Click on the.
Can I do it? Tag me in, coach.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead, Nicole.
Where is my screen on this broadcast?
Yeah, I lost my screen. That's what happened.
Yeah. All right, I got you. All right, so on cookcountyassessor.com, if you go to all forms and tools and you scroll down to find comparable properties, we have a guide right there that shows you how in 2 steps you can find properties that are comparable to yours. So it'll guide you to launch the tool. You can type in, you don't even have to know your PIN. You can type in your PIN or your address, and you click on a link that says compare this property, and boom, it'll pull up the properties that in the county's property system is done for you. Now I see another great question from Carol. Hector, you want to take this one?
Yeah. Carol says, do you do comps for us? So I'm assuming you mean, do we find comparables for you? So what happens is when you send in your appeal, let's pretend you sent in your own comparable. Our analysts are still going to go in and find comparables for you as well. So what they'll do is they'll take yours, they'll take theirs, and they'll see which comps are better. If you don't submit comparables, our analysts are still going to do that for you regardless of the fact. So if you are not sure how to do comparables, you don't really know what you're looking for, you don't want to make a mistake, no big deal. Just submit it. Our analyst will do that for you. You can, according to this other taxpayer says, you can also contact Township of Lyons Assessor's Office for comparable properties. Absolutely. Fun fact, guys, your township assessors have something called the AIM program, AIM. It's amazing. I've seen them use it. I've seen it in action. It'll find you comparables literally in 20 seconds. Like, it's amazing. It's a nice little life hack. What other questions do we have? If fairness is your goal, how do you justify a 20% increase? So Kyle, this would need a little bit digging into, right? Because that's a super vague question. So without your PIN number, without your address, without your specific information, we wouldn't be able to answer that. But send us an email. Send us an inbox message, bro. Send us your PIN number, your information. We will definitely look that up for you, and we will take care of that for you as well. We'll definitely give you an answer of why there was an increase. Nicole, you want to take this one?
If the tool doesn't bring up any comps, one thing you can do is you can adjust it, right? So what the tool does is it automatically sets a range for things like square footage and age. You can actually go back and adjust it. So you can say, hey, I want the age to be plus or minus 15 years instead of 10. So you can use that to find comps. And if not, again, don't fret.
So you can definitely change the filter.
Yeah. But again, our analysts will do that for you. So.
Jessica says, when I appealed last year, bought the house in 2017, I had included an error of the house characteristic. It has not yet been fixed. And they didn't mention it on my appeal decision letter last year. Should I include it again this year on my assessment appeal application? It won't probably affect the value, but I would rather everything be accurate. So Jessica, one, like to apologize for not getting that done earlier. If that is the case, go ahead and submit it again. Give us that information, and we'll see what it is. Sometimes things just have to catch up. So sometimes they are already handled. They just have to catch up. That's all. Stanley says, my reassessment is about 20% more than the previous year. If I do nothing, does this mean I'll be paying 20% more taxes? Absolutely not. So, Nicole, you want to do this one, or you want me to?
You're the pro, but I'll let you go. And if you want me to bring me in, let me know.
All right. So just because your value increased does not mean your tax bill will automatically increase. When you're looking at your tax bill, you want to look at three numbers. You want to look at your assessed value. You want to look at your township tax rate, which is on the top. Nope, is at the bottom, third number from the bottom. And you want to look at your state equalizer. Those three numbers are very important. Your value does not change every year unless you appeal. It will be the same all 3 years. What does change every year is your tax rate, which is responsible for the levy in your area, the different taxing bodies in your area, school districts, police department, water reclamation, mosquito abatement, all those different things. It's that big yellow box in the middle of your tax bill. And then your state equalizer is voted on by the Department of Revenue to make Cook County equal with all the other counties in Illinois. So just because your value went up doesn't mean your tax bill will go up, because your tax rate could decrease, your state equalizer could decrease, which in turn would lower your total tax bill. Tarek says, I'm a first-time home buyer. Congratulations, my guy. My mortgage is escrowed and increased by $480. My property was reassessed much higher than last time. It's difficult to afford it now. Is the gross difference in a value a basis for appeal? So if you're saying, hey, I'm appealing because the value's too high, you have to have a reason why you believe the value's too high. So I'm just taking what you said right now. You're a first-time home buyer. So I would submit my closing documentation. I would submit my appraisal. This is not legal counsel, by the way. Just my opinion. I don't want to get in trouble, you know. HR is always watching. I would submit my closing documentation, my appraisal. I'm assuming when you went to the bank, they did all that for you. And I'll say, hey guys, just for example, I bought this house for $100,000. You're saying it's worth $200,000. There's a discrepancy here somewhere. Can we figure it out? That's what I would do. What if you have two pins? Chris, tutor, you would just submit both pins, right? So if we look back at the way you should appeal, the first screen is asking for your specific PIN number. The second screen is saying if you have any additional PIN numbers, go ahead and put them here. Super simple. Zoe Swanson says, do you cover commercial filings in this presentation too, or specifically residential? Unfortunately, I'm not cool enough to do commercial filings, guys. I'm only residential and condo. That's the same thing. But for commercial filings, we could definitely help you out with that. All you have to do is inbox us, give us your PIN number, a phone number, your address, and we will definitely have those who can help you. Nicole, you want to say anything about commercial filings or?
Yeah, absolutely. If you go to the same website, cookcountyassessor.com/online-appeals, or under appeals, it's online appeals. Everything for business property owners is there too. There's also specific advice there for your filing type as well.
Linda says, real estate sales in our neighborhood are $100,000 less than what the assessor's estimated fair market value is. What real estate date do you use, and what support should we submit to substantiate fair market value? Nicole.
That's my jam. I got you. And that's actually a great question. I'd be really interested to see that data. Let me just pull that slide up again. Not sure that that's on my screen. There we go. All right, there we go. Thank you. All right, so the sales data that we use are sales that are recorded by the Cook County Recorder of Deeds office, and very specifically, we use sales from the beginning of 2015 all the way to the end of 2019. So we collect all that sales data, and then we produce that estimate of the home's value as of, again, January 1st, 2020, minus that COVID adjustment. Now, some neighborhoods in Lyons are bigger than others, right? So we actually use lots of local sales that might be outside of that neighborhood. So we might suggest looking, beyond the specific neighborhood boundary, looking for all similar neighborhood sales.
I'm so glad you're here, because I definitely would have told them inboxes, man. Marciano says, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, one thing that we have to exclude are sales that are things like foreclosures or things that aren't arm's length transactions. So,
sales, anything like that.
My mom's giving me her house or something, that's not a fair market value, right? So it's really, really
Not at
important
all.
to exclude that.
Marciano says flood in the basement due to faulty drainage outside of the house could be a good reason for requesting to lower the value. So Marciano, I would say this. I would say if you do in fact have drainage issues that cause a significant amount of damage, that means you had to replace some things. That means you had to get an appraisal. That means you had to get an insurance adjustment. You have to do an insurance claim, things like that. I would definitely submit that information. Kyle, what are examples of backup documentation that we should be uploading? Comparable sales figures, comparable assessed value figures, what? Go ahead, teamwork.
It depends on your kind of appeal, right? If your appeal is for overvaluation, then sure, you could submit some comparable homes that have sold lately and their recent sales. And if your appeal is uniformity, so your claim is that although my house is similar and is uniform to my neighbors, it hasn't been assessed uniformly, then you should submit other assessed values. For
sure. Also, if you had so my specific situation, I had a fire. I submitted pictures, fire reports, police reports, insurance. I did all of that. I'd rather give you give us everything. Let us do our job versus piecemeal things and then something doesn't work. Kyle also says, how much of a square footage discrepancy should there be before we dispute it? That's your prerogative, my guy. If you feel, hey, you're saying I have 100 more square feet than I should. If I have 1,000 more square feet than I should, we can't tell you what you should do. However, I feel if the square footage is incorrect, that means the assessment might be incorrect, and that might be a basis for an appeal. So I would submit that.
Yep. Assessor Katie is all about getting better data for better assessments, right? So the better data that you guys give us, the better that we do for not just you, but also your neighbors.
Jackie says, what happens if you press submit and received a file number, but did not realize you still need to add a lack of uniformity appeal? Do you have to file another appeal? Ooh.
Unfortunately, once you hit that submit button, that means another appeal for that PIN can't be filed. So it's really, really, really important to get it right the first time. That's part of why on the online system that has just been—
You get 3 warnings.
Exactly.
You get 3 warnings. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
So make sure that you have all of the documents related to the valuation of your home uploaded, and all of the reasons that you might think are selected before you hit submit. And the reason for that is once our analysts receive that appeal, they want to start working it right away. So what's going to happen if 2 weeks later there's another appeal? So that's why I just make sure you get it right the first time.
Estela says, can I see this video again? Seguro que sí. You can put this will be on Facebook. This will be on YouTube. Guys, this is a YouTube comment. These are worth 10 Facebook comments. So super excited that we're getting traffic on YouTube. But absolutely, all you gotta do is once it's done, it'll be uploaded, and then you can rewind, you can fast forward, you can do all those things. Sherry says, how come my property value went up 50%? Again, if you're watching this and your question is similar to this, please understand that we can't give you that information right now, right? These are all things that would take research, that would take us looking into your specific property. So please, if this is the kind of question you want to ask tonight, copy and paste it into a message and send it into our inbox, and that way we can jump on them as soon as we are ready to tomorrow. So can we include properties outside of our neighborhood, Linda? Of course, if your parameters are not working, if your filters are not working, like Nicole said, you can definitely open them up a little bit. You can change the filter a little bit, and you can see if those type of neighborhoods will help you out or not. Next.
Do we have any questions or comments for our fellow co-hosts of the Township of Lyons?
Oh, Kyle's back. What documentation would you accept? Sorry. What documentation would you accept for official square footage. So a plat of survey is acceptable, an appraisal is acceptable, but please hear me out. It has to be by a certified person, right? I'm not trying to be funny. This can't be a friend, right? Or if you grew up like me, I wear a size 12, so that's 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 feet, 4 feet, not like that. Has to be certified and it has to be done correctly. I think that's it. I think those were all the questions. Guys, we just want to thank you guys. We want to thank the Township of Lyons. I personally want to thank Barb. She's one of my faves. Thank you guys for having us. This has been awesome. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
Thank you. Thank you to the Hector and staff, Nicole, everybody for putting this together. We appreciate it.
For sure. I couldn't have done it without Nicole, guys. Nicole, round of applause.
I'm so glad you guys could join us.
Yeah, this was fun. We never did we kind of did a 3-man team last time, but this is fun. This was cool. For you guys that are watching, please stay safe. Please stay wise. Please stay blessed. Please take care of each other. Let's be good neighbors. Let's help each other out. Please tag someone in the comments that needs this information who couldn't be here tonight. Please share this in all of your Moms of Lyons Facebook groups and all of your, Lyons residential people on Facebook. I just looked one up and I swear that's what it said. So please go ahead and share this because this is important that people need. Our office exists so that we're here to help, guys. We work for you guys. We're here to help. We're here to make sure that things get done correctly. And we want to make sure that we are transparent, that we are ethical, that there is fairness here. And we're trying to live up to all of those claims. So we want to thank all of you guys for being here. You guys have a safe night. Enjoy yourself. I'm going to eat dinner now. So you guys be great.